the problem is people think if I get good organic veggies, if I buy the good stuff, then I should be good. If I whatever get the natural organic stuff, then I should have more than enough. And that in theory should be true. You're right, but it's not. The reality is without supplements today, maybe there's a few regions in the high mountains somewhere where that's true, but for 7% of the population, you just don't get the nutrients. I didn't make that up. I'd love for it to be different, but you don't get them, right? Hey, Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, it's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Inspired Conversation. And I got to tell you, lately, the messages, the text messages, the emails, they've been coming in every single day. People telling us they're fatigued, they're tired. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I oftentimes feel it too. And we've discussed the spiritual reasons for this. Of course, there are some bigger environmental factors, but today I want to go into solution mode. What can we actually do? How can we increase energy levels? What is important? What's the signal? What's the noise? Let's talk about it with founder of Chemical Free Body, our dear friend Tim James. It's good to have you back, brother.
John, thanks for having me, brother. Excited, as always.
Always wonderful. Is this something that you are seeing and hearing a lot lately also? Fatigue, people being tired, not having as much energy?
Well, I was one of those people 15 years ago myself. It's kind of the norm now, having low energy. I mean, if you think about it, why has there been such an explosion over the last 10, 15 years of energy drinks and 10,000 different ways to sell you coffee?
Yeah.
People are freaking tired. People are really tired, and they're looking for something really quick that they can take to give them energy. But most people are falling into the stimulation trap. They're not getting to the root problem, and this is just, it starts compounding and compounding. It gets to the point where people, like some people don't even want to get out of bed. The only reason they do it is because they have a mortgage, they have bills to pay, they've got responsibilities, and they force themselves out of bed, pound some coffee that's probably moldy and not healthy. I mean, some people do, but the statistics are most people are eating crappy coffee. And then it's, 5-hour energy drinks and Monster drinks and Red Bulls. And they come home and, and they go in the afternoon, do another coffee deal. And they drink a couple beers and a glass of wine and pass out and do it all over again.
And what's interesting, Tim, it's not just people that are sort of in their, later in life. It's young folks. Like I see it in the teens, in the 20s. I mean, they just jug the energy drinks. I'm like, why? Like, how come you're not? You should be in the prime of life. So this is a systemic problem. It's not individual groups of people. And you're all about systemic solutions. So where can people start if they don't want to do the energy drink, the coffee, and the stimulation trap?
Okay, so check this out. If you want more energy, most people think the first step is what? Putting something in that's going to give them the energy, because it just makes sense. We eat food, and then our body breaks it down, and then it gets into the cell, and then we have this fuel for energy. But the problem is, John, is that we live in a polluted world. And guess what? If you're a goldfish and you're in a polluted fish bowl, what do you think is going to happen inside of your flesh and your cells? The pollution's going to seep. It's going to get in there. It's going to fill up the cells. So especially, people around the world, but Americans, we're full of toxins. We live in a polluted world. There's car exhaust and smog and in your house. You have paint off gassing in your home, particle board, glue holding it together. In the summer, it heats up. People didn't, the laminate floors. A study out of MIT showing that it's directly linked to autism in children, off-gassing, these chemicals coming out. They're everywhere. And then the processed foods and your air fresheners and blah, blah. I mean, it's personal care products and shampoos and toothpaste and all this stuff. So if you're buying anything like that, then it's slowly been accumulating from the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food you eat, the clothing you wear, and the personal care products and anything in your environment. Your cells are full of toxins. So if you just think you're going to just start eating healthier, that's awesome. But the first step is to clean the room, clear those cells out. If your cells are packed full of toxins, there's no room for nutrition. So the first step is always, 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 because we live in a polluted world, just simply detoxification.
So let's talk about that also. What's a good start, but also frequency. You know, a lot of people say I'll do a detox every spring. I said that's great, but that might not be enough.
Yeah. Well, and before, we're just going to talk today about physical stuff of the physical body, but never, ever, ever forget, my friends, that the emotional detoxes are probably the most profound. These emotions, when I was talking about things that need to come out, the physical things that need to come out of the cell to make room for the nutrition, there's also physical things that have manifested in our cells from, you might have somebody in your life that's toxic. You get rid of that person and watch your energy surge, right? That is a huge thing, getting toxic people out of your life. If you're going to a job that you disdain, you can't stand being there, it makes you almost ill to think about going to work, but you have to pay the bills, that kind of scenario, then you're going to have to reframe that in your mind to be grateful for that job to provide the income until you can exit stage left. You've got to start getting a plan together. But today we're going to be focusing on just the physicality. So we're talking about the cells. How do you get your cells cleaned up? Well, number one is like 95% of people are not drinking enough water. Your body's mostly made of what? It's water. So drinking more water, and then trying to get water that's not polluted. So purified water, distilled water. And then, we restructure our water. One of the best ways to get structured water is just eating vegetables and having fresh vegetable juice like cucumbers and celery. Any vegetable, the water inside of it's structured. So structured water is awesome. That's a great way to start hydrating the cells to allow the cells to get these toxins out. Another thing that, we have a product called Gut Detox Formula. We've got to get the digestive tract cleaned out because the cells are going to start dumping stuff. So we want to clean out the pathway of elimination. That's something we do. And then we have another product called Toxin Detox that works on the radiation, the heavy metals, and the pollution, the pesticides, the fungicides, the herbicides. And then, people can also, buy that stuff from other places too. But, at least we know we've actually, Jean, we're coming up on this month is our 10-year anniversary of Chemical Free Body.
Congratulations, brother.
October 19th. We're going to have a big anniversary sale. Really excited about it. So, but 10 years, very excited. We have testimonies of people getting better daily and getting their energy back and their lives back. And I love it. I love what we do here. So those are a couple things. Chia water and flax water is also great for detoxification because it has the water component that's structured, and you're also getting some good nutrition in there that's from nature.
One of the things, Tim, that I just thought about, the fatigue. Usually when you're fatigued for a while, you also sort of start to drift off into like sadness, depressed moods, borderline. Isn't there an interesting connection between the gut biome and depression, and how when that is cleaned up, a lot of times depression subsides? Is that something?
Yeah. Well, a lot of that happy juice, serotonin, is actually made in the gut. So if the gut's off balance or has what's called dysbiosis, it's out of whack, you're not going to feel that great. You can be depressed. And I really believe that the all these 60 trillion microbiome, these bacterium that are in the gut, is actually the main brain that's kind of running the whole show. Like literally, the brain in our head is it's like number two. Like it's what was really interesting. I learned a long time ago was that when you're in utero, when you're growing in your mom's belly, there's one cell, right? And then that cell divides to two cells, and then 4 and 8 and 16. We eventually become, trillions of cells, right? 6 trillion human cells. Well, the gut and the brain were actually one cell, and they split, and then one cell turned into the digestive tract, and the other one turned into the brain. But they were originally one cell. And then there's that gut-brain connection. So they were originally one cell. And if you look at the shape of the gut and the shape of the brain, I mean, it's kind of really interesting. You have the vagus nerve there, and there's signaling going back and forth. And I think it's really important that people, that's why our first step is always clean up the gut. Because if you have 6 to 12 pounds of impacted fecal material in your gut, we want to get that stuff out. Now, I've been telling people for years, go get colon hydrotherapy, but most people well, 50% at least won't go do it, or they don't have access to it. That's why gut detox formula works, because it's gentle. It's been around for 5,000 years. Ancient Ayurvedic formula, very gentle. There's no diarrhea. People can get that stuff out in 15 days and then just keep taking it to keep those intestinal villi, those hair-like structures, clean. Start drinking lots of water, cleaning up the cells. And now we come in with green nutrition. And I am, somebody just called me. It was Jenner. She called me the green juice junkie today. And so that is, I'm a good junkie, because I'm a junkie on green juice, and I drink 2 a day and I haven't missed. And that has been the foundation to my life. Now, why would we do this? It's because 85% of the nutrition has been farmed out of the soil. I mean, you've seen it, right? You've had people on talking about the soil deficiencies.
Well, the problem is people think if I get good organic veggies, if I buy the good stuff, then I should be good. If I whatever get the natural organic stuff, then I should have more than enough. And that in theory should be true. You're right, but it's not. The reality is, without supplements today, maybe there's a few regions in the high mountains somewhere where that's true, but for 7% of the population, you just don't get the nutrients. I didn't make that up. I'd love for it to be different, but you don't get them, right?
No. And it's like, even when you go to the farmer's market, like I go to the farmer's markets, and the first question is, do you spray any chemicals on your food, on your crops? Do you? Oh, no, we would never do that. But if they're still tilling, they're destroying the gut, that the immune system of the plant. And then where does your water input come from? Well, you see.
But even if they don't spray, even if chances are that their soil is void of nutrients because of the environmental factors that have been around for such a long time. Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's like,
statistically, people are screwed.
So how do you get the nutrients into your greens? Why are they nutrient packed?
Well, one of the things that we do is, at my personal life, is that I grow sprouts. Okay. And I grow them, and I get my seeds from places that do high quality soil. But most people aren't going to grow their own food. I know it. I've been through this route, dude. I've had 5,500 people to my home in detox classes. We made dinner and broke sprouts together. Okay. And had green juice together, and wheatgrass shots. And so I already know most people are just not, it's different. There's like people come to my house, are like, oh my God, they see all these trays and these racks growing in the kitchen. There's sprouts growing. Like, this is amazing. They never seen anything like it. I'm like, welcome to nature. I just brought it inside the house and made it convenient, but it takes time, because I have to have a pile of dirt here. I got trays, I got to plant them. So what we did is, because we know only 1 out of 10 people that come to a class, that get excited, that drink the juice, that eat the sprouts and eat the living foods, that get excited about this, are going to stick with it. They're going to stick with making the juice and cleaning the juicer. They're going to stick with the sprouting. And unfortunately, most of them have cancer. So they have a big reason to live, and they're trying to do everything they can. They've basically shut their life down to live. They'll do it. Most other people won't. And that's why we created Green 85 juice formula. So we took wheatgrass, which is like, that stuff is like a miracle to me. It's unbelievable. It's packed with like 92 of the 102 trace minerals. It tastes much better than the other grasses, which is a benefit. And then if you look at products out there, some people just sell wheatgrass, and then they put it in water and you drink it. Well, they're getting you to drink more water. That's good. And there's a few little phytochemicals in there, but we don't really have the stomach to digest that fiber, right? Now the next step is wheatgrass juice. That's better, right? Because that's more of what we're getting the juice, all those nutrients out, but without that fiber. Now, some people are saying fiber's good. I get it. We're not trying to get fiber from the juice. We're trying to get massive amounts of nutrition, do it in less than a minute or 2 a day, to replace what should have been in your food. And then the third step, what we do that's different, is the first ingredient, it's a large percentage of it's almost a third of our Green 85 is just wheatgrass juice concentrate. And it's 21 to 33 to 1 concentrated. Because I know during the processing, you're losing nutrients. So to make up for it, we went to these high concentration levels. It is super expensive to do this, but it is necessary today. And most of our formula is greens. There's other stuff in there. There's oat grass, there's spirulina, there's green algae, which is like 52% protein. We've got moringa in there, the miracle tree. That by itself is a multivitamin. I've got dulse, which is a sea vegetable full of minerals, iodine, which is good for the thyroid. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff there. Broccoli sprouts. It's mostly green juice, whereas most of the products on the market are a third, inulin and chicory root, which is a sugar, and then a third flavoring, and then a third of greens, and it's just wheatgrass blades ground up. It literally would take people 10 to 30 canisters or bags or jars of other stuff to be equivalent to what we have nutritionally in ours. And I always just say, look, don't believe me. Just try it out. We have a double your money back guarantee because I want people to feel the difference. When you take concentrated nutrition and you put it into your body, like it'll tell you the story. It doesn't matter. I could talk about how great it is. It doesn't matter. And then go try all the other ones and compare them. We have people do it all the time. They come back. They're like, dude, this is way better than, AG1 or this other stuff. We are on a mission to bring people the absolute highest quality stuff to make a difference. Because for the people that have the money to invest in this, I want them to get the results.
I just heard from a mutual friend of ours, not mentioning any names, but someone who has been testing for many years many different supplements. It's like it's like a passion to test on all levels, and who sang your praises about the greens and how potent it is, how incredibly satiating it is. So in other words, if you feel like you are a little ways away from your optimal weight, for example, and you just indulged, my experience is after the green juice. So let's say you drink the green juice in the morning, the green 85, and you wait for like 30 minutes to have breakfast, you're probably going to want to skip it because you're not going to have any appetite for breakfast. And then even if you sit down because it's social and whatever,
and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
No.
Skipping, it's not you're getting nutrition with the greens without the burden of digestion.
Exactly. And then even if you do eat, you can only have a few bites because you literally can't, because your body is giving you all the signals. I have everything I need. And, the whole 3-meal thing is a complete psyop. We don't eat 3 meals. I mean, shit, we don't even eat a meal every day, to be honest, but that's taking it to another level. And then, Tim, the green 85, like that is after the detox to flood the system every day. That's like the best thing that I know of. What are some other really important elements that people should use specifically to enhance, or to optimize their energy levels?
Well, for those that want to get off their butt and do a little effort, start sprouting at home. The easiest ones are like mung beans and lentils. You can activate them by simply soaking them in water. You soak them one time only and then rinse them off and drain them well. Those don't require any dirt, and they're ready to eat in 2.5 days, 2 to 2.5 days. This is red lentils, green lentils, French lentils, and mung beans. And you could throw fenugreek in there too, because it can be ready in 2.5 days. And boy, is that powerful for gastrointestinal healing. You can also purchase sprouted products. Go to the farmers markets if somebody has sprouts, or they have, there's a company now called Activated. They have like sprouted almonds that have been, where a company actually took the time to soak them and then for 8 hours, and then rinse them off, and then dry them, dehydrate them for 2 days, and then put them in a bag for you. Now they're going to be double the cost of regular almonds, but the nutrition is going to be 100 to 800% more nutritious. So where's the better value? And you don't have any of the toxic garbage and the protectants that are inherently poisons that are in that seed, nut, or grain, or bean. That's why a lot of people, this whole thing with the, there's a lot of bad press on grains, like grains are bad. Well, it depends. Like if I took a handful of hard red winter wheat, that's even good stuff, that was not sprayed with glyphosate, and put it in my mouth and tried to chew it, what would happen? I'd probably crack a tooth. But if I take that and if I swallow it, I might not get very much nutrition. It might mess with my gastrointestinal tract a little bit, gluten and all that stuff, but I'm going to poop most of it out. You won't see it. But if I take that grain and soak it in water and then rinse it for a couple of days, it becomes very soft and pliable. All those natural insecticides, those lectins and all that stuff is freaking gone. And now you've got something that is 8 times more digestible on average. is a completely amazing brain food. It's unreal, and gives you tons of energy, and it's living. You get hormones and oxygen and phytochemicals and enzymes. This stuff is all flooding into your cells, and your cells are like, hallelujah, I've been waiting for this stuff. So sprouting at home and purchasing sprouted products. Another company I use a lot is Blue Mountain Organics. I get my Blue Mountain Organics. I get my sprouted nut butters there, right? And I drink my greens every day. Even I just made a fresh. Did I bring it in here? I gotta go grab it. I just made a fresh green juice, and I drink Green 85 twice a day. Even if I make a fresh green juice, I still spike it with Green 85 and shake it. Now, most people are not going to make a green juice. We know this statistically. Just get some water. Like, I challenge everybody listening today, just get some, put a scoop in, try it. If it doesn't work, we have a double your money back guarantee. I just want you to try it. Now, what you are going to experience, like John said, in 20 minutes on an empty stomach in the morning and again in the afternoon, you will eat half as much food. Your grocery bill is going to drop in half, and it'll pay for itself, period. It works every time.
And the added bonus for me is, so I start in the morning, I do show prep all morning, like, till noon or 12:30. So that's like 4 or 5 hours of show prep. And then I do just the show, and then we have other stuff. So it's like a lot of mental activity. And the fact that my body doesn't need energy to digest, and I can put all of that into the work, helps so much. So think about that too, that when you flood your body with nutrients, you're going to get an automatic energy boost, but you're also going to hold that energy longer because you don't waste so much energy on digesting the stuff and getting a little bit of nutrition out. So this is incredible. What would you say if somebody started today, by drinking better water, going through this detox process that you explained, and start flooding the body? What would be a time period when they can start feeling some results, feeling more energized, and having more life force back?
I mean, it's 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes of having those greens in you on an empty stomach you're going to feel the energy. It's coffee without the crash. I mean, it's that good. We're going down to the Aegis conference here in October. We're going to have green juice, tubs of it, and we're going to be handing it out to people to drink it. Come to us. Come get your energy at 8 a.m. and then come to us a half an hour to an hour before dinner and get another 16-ounce water with the Green 85 in it. Why? Because it's going to, in 3 days, I've already done conferences like this before. People come down, and some people are skeptical. I had this woman in Mexico. She was really skeptical. And I was like, well, all you can do is try it and see if it works for you. And she came back. She's like, it really works. Oh my God, it really works. And then she's like ordering it. And she's like, I'm going to get on subscription, have this sent to my house. And now she's freaking out because she finally met somebody that she can trust now, right? Because let the products work. This isn't me. I'm just carrying on what Dr. Treadway put together. Like, that guy's a freaking genius. Okay. He was a genius. He knows what he's doing. And I just sifted and sorted through a lot of people to find him. That's all it is. Now I found what's good, works for me. I want to tell other people about it.
Tim, I gotta call you out a little bit here. You said, all these products, the energy drinks, the coffees, we don't do that. And you're right, you don't do that. But you have a product that works way better than an energy drink, but has an tremendous, almost immediate effect. It's not the greens. It's something that you gave a perfect name. You called it Super Soldier. Explain to me why when I have a long day at 3 p.m, when I take 2 Super Soldiers, I want to go and work out for 2 hours. Why is that?
85% of the nutrients are farmed out of the soil, and 2 key ingredients are fulvic and humic. It's almost non-existent. And the fulvic is kind of like a bus that transports the minerals into the body, and then it takes the toxins out. And so it is a cornerstone of just normal living for wild creatures on a normal planet. Okay. But again, when you overfarm the soil, that stuff's gone. It's gone, and your body needs it. So again, when you put Super Soldier together with the greens and all the phytonutrients, that is in my opinion, that is a complete multivitamin, multi-mineral, because you have all the minerals from the mineral chart, and it just works. Our athletes love it. I mean, I can't even tell you how many fighters that feel like they're in the third round fighting, feel like they're in the first round. Major League Baseball players that do hard, intense trainings, pitchers that pitch 9 innings, they do a lot of cardio, and they all tell me the same thing. Like, dude, this thing is, your products are awesome, but that Super Soldier is unreal for energy and stamina.
It's true, man, because I used to be a professional athlete, and everybody's always looking for that one thing that'll give them a little bit of an edge, right? A little bit of a. And the thing about Super Soldier is compared to any other product is, so the other products give you a kick, a high, and then it's almost overstimulating, and then you get a crash. Like, it's almost always the same pattern. This thing is so gentle in how it comes into the body. Like, you don't really notice, but you just after hours you go, holy moly, I've been just on this energy cloud, and it's beautiful, and it doesn't crash. You just naturally you just naturally go tired in the evening and then go to bed. So it's the most well-rounded thing that I have ever experienced. So my go-to is always the Super Soldier. If I have a workout at night, Super Soldier. During the day, man, I love this product.
If you're looking at a pyramid of life, the foundation of life on this planet is minerals. Minerals are the king, period. Without them, there would be nothing here. So it's minerals, and that's why that product works so well, because it's some of the best ones that I found that are bioavailable, and it just works. So people are probably familiar with Shilajit, or the European folks out there heard of mineral pitch. Instead of being farmed from the Himalayas, we get this out of a peat bog in Canada, and I've tried all different kinds, and this is the best one that I've found. And that's what I do for a living, is I find the best stuff for me, and then I share it with my clients. It's 15 years.
Okay, brother. So now that we're approaching 10-year anniversary, and it's coming up October 19th, tell us, where can people find all your wonderful products? Where can they keep up with you and learn from you?
Okay, that's it. chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. And very soon, I'm launching a live. I'm going to be going live every day, and that'll be a little inspirational thing to get people inspired, get them moving, get them outside, and I'll just be giving Tim's little tidbits every time I do some movement outside and get people moving again, get their energy back, get their life back.
And we also wanted to thank you. The integrity, doing a double money back guarantee. That's a very integrous thing to do. It's very confident too. And also for the discounts for our audience, which is a wonderful gift to our audience. We appreciate that. But I would encourage everyone, out of the multitude of tips that Tim shared today, many of them are just things that you can do right now that don't cost any money, or just a teeny tiny bit. And for those who just say, hey, I really want to get started, I can invest this, please hop over. Give yourself the gift. We're approaching the winter season. You're going to need to boost up your immune system, be strong through it all. This is what we do. This is what our family does. And Tim put together a bundle. It's the Inspired Optimal Health Bundle, which is what we do. That's what Christine and I do. Our family does. If you want to replicate,
probably should have put the Super Soldier in that too, because now you're doing that. I have to make that bundle bigger.
Yeah, well, we got a supply of Super Soldiers, which I never run out of. So you want to add that to the mix. If you're like me, you want to add that to the mix. But hop over, please, chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. Look around. Let your intuition guide you, and let us know how things are working for you. How's your energy level? What have you been doing? What has worked for you? Let us know in the comments. And if you have any questions for an upcoming episode with Tim, please let us know in the questions. We're going to browse and keep it up for next time. So Tim James, brother, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Thank you for the listeners for being here. Appreciate everybody.
Inspire Tribe, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you, and we'll be back with you again very, very soon.